What's up guys, it's Cass from Stonemill & Co. In today's video, I am showing you guys how I make my alcohol ink epoxy letters. This is such a fun technique and it ended up pairing so perfectly with an Easter theme. I really hope you guys enjoy this video, so let's jump in and get started. So first of all, I'm starting with an 1/8 inch piece of MDF that is painted white on one side. I will be using the Piñata alcohol inks, my heavily used Wagner heat gun, and some isopropyl alcohol. I usually put the alcohol in a little dish and then I use a syringe so I can get it out easier. Now, to be honest, I do not have much experience with alcohol inks, so my biggest suggestion to you is to just literally go with the flow. Now, obviously, the amount of alcohol that you use and the amount of alcohol inks that you use are going to change how opaque your colors are. If you ever get a color that ends up being too dark, just throw some alcohol on that and then just use your heat gun over top of that without adding more alcohol inks. Now, for this specific project, I want to encourage you to be as colorful and random as possible. Remember, this is not a finished piece. We are going to be cutting this board into multiple different pieces. So, again, be colorful, be random. Do one section in one color and the other section in another color, and don't focus on the piece as a whole. Now, I know I already added gold here, but once I'm all done, I like to go back and just kind of sprinkle some gold here and there just for a little extra look. Now, everything looks great, but once I'm done, I do go back and add a little bit more texture, and that is just by dipping my fingers into the alcohol and then splattering it around the board. And again, this just gives it a little added texture by diluting the areas that the alcohol drops on. So now I've waited 24 hours and we are ready to add our epoxy shine. And as you saw, we are using Epoxies Table Top Pro, which is a 1-to-1 system. You want to make sure that you stir it thoroughly and then you'll just pour it and spread it around your piece evenly. So this should cure in about 8 hours, but I'm going to give it a good 24 hours before we head to the laser. So here we have my design and I am cutting out the bunnies on the laser. So now that we have a ton of cute little bunnies, the next step is going to be creating a template on our backer. So I'm just using a straight edge to line up the corners and find the center point on my backer. Next step is back to the laser to score this template. Now this template is just for glue up purposes. It just allows me to know exactly where these bunnies need to go. Now I'm going to cut out the letters and it's time to glue up. Now, since the bunnies are backed with MDF, any basic super glue will do for these. And again, this template lets me line these bunnies and the little banner up perfectly so everything is perfectly in place. Now again, for the MDF, any basic super glue will work. However, if you were using acrylic for your lettering like I did, I do suggest using a double-sided adhesive from 3M. I will go ahead and throw a link down below for the double-sided adhesive as well as a little bit of a description on why I prefer the 3M over a super glue for the acrylic. Now, since I wasn't able to score the epoxy bunnies where the letters were supposed to go, the blue tape is strictly just to line up all the letters. But guys, this piece is done. It looks so cute. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And I am so excited that I finally got to teach you guys how I make the alcohol ink epoxy letters. Again, I am just so in love with this technique. I hope that you guys are too, as if the colors are not enough, and then you add that epoxy shine to it and it just gives these pieces such a unique and pretty look. Now you can use this technique to cut out names or shapes or literally anything, and whether you're using the scroll saw or you decide to use the laser, I hope that this tutorial inspired you and I cannot wait to see what you guys make using this technique. Lastly, and as always, don't forget to let me know what you think about this video down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and check out all my social channels for more inspiration and DIY.